This broadcast is the property of Codependents Anonymous. Reproduction without written permission from Codependents Anonymous is not permitted.
Today we have our guest Kathy H., and she will be sharing her information, knowledge, and wisdom on the CoDA Joy in the Journey Recover with Color coloring book. And I will post links to that book and how you can get it, where you can get it, in the chat. Please join me in welcoming Kathy H. Thank you for coming today, Kathy. You will need to unmute yourself.
Oh, thanks for having me. I don't really know what I'm supposed to be talking about except for how the coloring book got started. And is that what I'm supposed to be talking about?
That would be great. I think I would love to hear what you know about the coloring book. I know you worked on it and worked hard on it, along with some other people from the program. So please tell us what you know.
Okay, so first of all, it took a village. It wasn't just me. During CSC in 2020, I was coloring at Addie's house in Ohio because we met together because a CoDA service conference, for those who don't know what CSC is, we met together and did it at her house. And I was coloring because the CoDA service conference gets very long when it's on Zoom. And then Addie had mentioned, or wouldn't it be great to have a recovery coloring book? And I said, yes. And then she took that advice to Yvonne, who was a little bit not sure because core, that's not our job. But Yvonne agreed to do a small work group. And then what Yvonne and Addie worked on was getting a survey together with all the people that sign up for literature. And on the bottom, it says if you want information on our newsletter. So she took that and sent a survey out to anybody that wanted to help with different areas, different categories. Do you want to help with a work group of getting this together? And so we sent out a survey and we had about 10 responses. And then we started a committee. One woman was from India, which was really interesting because we had to have our meetings very early in the morning. And Addie and I had talked for a long time about how we wanted this to go. We didn't just want it to be a coloring book. We wanted it to be like a workbook / coloring book. And then we also knew, and none of us were artists. We knew that from the very beginning. We could offer suggestions, but none of us were artists. So we submitted offers to find professional illustrators. First, we went to CORE to see if they would allow this, to see if they would fund that. And it was voted yes. So then we had to get 3 estimates, which we did. And we picked the estimate of I don't know if she was the cheapest, she might have been the second cheapest, but she had 12-step experience. And we thought that was very beneficial. So then we met every single Wednesday at 9:00 a.m. our time, because India, that was 11 hours difference. And we had probably an hour and a half to a 2-hour meeting every single week, coming up with ideas what we would want to be on the written page, on the workshop page. And then Addie and I were on the same page. The other people didn't have any idea how to do this. And then we would submit our ideas. We would submit some artwork that we would draw. Mine was pretty chicken scratch, but I would submit some ideas because, again, the artist, the illustrator, didn't know what kind of things to draw. So we would submit ideas. I said, wouldn't it be great to have a target or the staircase or we all came up with ideas. Some people would sketch them and then we would put that on a Google Doc. So we got this started and finished this project in 6 months. And then I did call Terry D from the Literature Committee and asked her if she wanted to come to our meetings, because I felt it was beneficial to not be against committees. I feel we should all work together. And Terry was very amendable to, I don't know if that's the word. She was very wanted to be involved. So the Literature Committee was supporting us, which was wonderful. And then we finished it, submitted the Google Doc. It was in Google Sheets. We submitted that to the Literature Committee for their review. They all liked it, and that's how it got put through CSC. They liked the finished work. I mean, it was a harrowing, time-consuming project, much more than the 1 hour or 2 hour meetings every week, because there were style sheets that we had to follow, which I didn't know about. I learned an awful lot from doing this. Again, it was a work group. I'm sorry. It was a work group that we had out of core. We started out with maybe 8 people on the committee and ended up with just 4, because you know how committees are. Once people know how much work it is, they slowly drop out. But we had several people from different states, and we all signed a copyright release that we were, and I sent that to Arizona, CoDA Incorporated, so we didn't own any rights to this project. But my idea was to have like a workbook / coloring book, because I personally love to color. I'm always coloring. I'm not coloring now, but I'm usually coloring when I do Zoom meetings, because it's too hard to sit still and I can listen. And I just thought it would be really great to work with sponsors / sponsees, and not just answer the questions in the green book, but to have something else to fall upon. And many people commented that they were working that. So I think that's about how it started. I did invite Addie to this. I don't know if she had the correct link. No, she just texted me. She has to do a couple errands. Anyway, I did call her before this, because it wasn't just one person, but what happens is you get an idea and make it work. Of course, in the beginning, I was afraid, oh my gosh, everybody's going to not like us because we're taking the Literature Committee's job away. This is my own personal feelings, but that wasn't the case. Literature did work with us. After it was approved by CSC, Literature Committee, and Yvonne and I had harrowing hours going through every single word, every single period, every single statement to make sure that it was proofread properly. But I was greatly pleased it was approved at CSC, and greatly pleased to have worked with the Literature Committee, because they were great help. And also the print liaison had to put it on his, I don't know what he does when he prints something, but he had to transfer everything onto his document. So that took a lot of hours. So again, it took a committee of people. It didn't just take 1 or 2 people, but I don't know what else to say. What else would you like me to say, David?
Well, thank you very much for that introduction and a little bit of the history of the coloring book. One of the things I really like about the coloring book is all the information that's in there, not just on the steps and traditions, but also elaboration on the promises, something that I think is could use some bolstering in CoDA literature. all that CORE and CoDA offer are the promises themselves. That coloring book has some great material that expands and elaborates on the promises. And that's one of the reasons that I bought that book, and I really enjoy being able to read and have more information about what the promises can mean to me. So I'm really grateful for that.
David, would it be appropriate for me to share it?
I would ask Kathy that question, James.
Okay. What do you think, Kathy?
Are you going to share your written book work?
No, I got the draft version.
No, that's not that draft was not approved to be shared, but you can share your artwork.
I can share. I got the cover, and I got
Right, you can share that. I don't think you can share the draft.
Yeah, I would agree with Kathy. Does ask for a show of hands in the reactions area. Has anybody else got a copy of that book and done colored any parts of it that they want to share with us today? I will make it possible for you to share your screen if you want to, or you can turn on your camera and hold it up to the camera. If there's anyone else that has gotten a copy of the coloring book, Joining the Journey, Recover with Color. Yes, Amy, I see her, and Jeanette. That's great. Did you want to share some information or maybe pictures with us today?
I'll share. My name's Amy, and I'm codependent.
Amy, if you're just talking, would you keep your camera off? Just turn your camera on if you want to hold pictures up. Thank you. Continue. Okay. Sorry to interrupt, Amy. Welcome.
Thank you. I like the coloring book because it's concise. It lays things out very simply. A lot of the literature is really hard to pull everything out. And I really like the format of the coloring book. I haven't colored, but I do like coloring. So anyway, thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Jeanette, I see your hand up. Welcome.
Hi, yes, thank you. Well, I have the coloring book. I have not colored a lot in it, to be honest, but I have enjoyed the times when I have sat and colored and taken time for myself. Again, I like how it's laid out. I mean, I did not expect to have the promises and the traditions and the steps and the prayers. And what I really like, opposite the picture, there's a little rectangle and it says my thoughts. So I get to color, I get to read, and I get to write my thoughts. I pass.
Well, thank you for sharing that, Jeanette. There's also, if you have a copy, there are some, what is that, Easter eggs in the pictures. This book is chock full of information and little gems about recovery, CoDA, Codependent Anonymous Recovery. And
I can share.
Yes, Linda, welcome.
Hi, I'm Linda. I'm codependent. I have the coloring book too. I want to thank Kathy for working on that project. It was definitely something that was probably a labor of love. Such a beautiful coloring book. I have not colored in it at all because I don't want to ruin it. But it really scratches a part of my brain that is needed for for codependency recovery. And I think that art, like music, really touches us in ways that the written word doesn't, or the spoken word. So I really appreciate this real beautiful art piece. And someday maybe I'll take the plunge and actually color in it. But thank you very much for doing it.
Thank you for sharing, Linda. Terry D., I see your hand up. Welcome.
You're muted, Terry.
Hi, this is Terry, codependent. Can I be heard?
I hear you.
I hear you.
Okay, great.
Did you want to share, Terry? Not hearing you now, Terry.
Can I be heard now?
I hear you now.
Okay, something's going on with my phone. Sorry, everybody. So wanted to, just say my gratitude about everyone who does service work in CoDA, on whatever level, whether it's the meeting level or the national level. Thought it was interesting that some of that was talked about today. And this coloring book does include the traditions and different ways to look at those as well. And I just want to say that I think that tradition 12 is so important that, within the boundary of anonymity, we come forth, reminding, ourselves what it means to share our experience, strength, and hope, but not, put other information out there that might turn into principles before personalities. So just want to say that it's a very interesting topic, and if anyone has anything to talk about service or anonymity, I would love to hear it. Thanks.
Thank you for sharing, Linda. Oh, Terry, I'm sorry. Thank you for sharing, Terry. Pardon me. Yes. Anyone else? Questions for Kathy? If you've got the coloring book. If you don't, do you think you might want to get it? Based on what you've heard here today? I confess I have not colored in my book either. I'm a little intimidated by coloring in pictures. Allison, I see your hand up, followed by Jewel. Welcome, Allison.
Hi, I'm Allison, codependent. Yes, I bought the coloring book, and I also am one of those that are like, oh, it's so pristine, it's so pretty, I don't want to mess it up. But I love all the, I know it's meant to be colored, and I should not think of it as messing it up, as just enjoying the process. But I do love the way it's laid out, with where it has the steps, the traditions, and the promises for each step. And then it has an affirmation on each page with it. And I just think a lot of thought went into the whole thing, where you can, jot down what your own thoughts are on each page. I think it was very well thought out. I appreciate Kathy's work and her committee working together and producing this for everybody. And just sitting in on this meeting inspires me to take my marker and actually color on it. I even love the thickness of the paper, so it won't bleed through. So anyways, thank you for letting me share.
Thank you for
Thank
sharing.
you for sharing. And someone else had to have, Jewel, I think you had your hand up. Did you want to share, Jewel?
Yes, I think you asked, would anybody buy this book? And I'm buying it on Sunday. I am a painter, so I am really looking forward to starting to paint and use. Hopefully, when Amy said that the pages are thick enough, hopefully I can use some watercolor pens on the paper. I don't know, I'll have to try it out, but I really am looking forward to learning. I've only been a member of CoDA for 5 months, so I need to learn as much as I can.
Thank you for sharing, Jewel. Congratulations on 5 months in CoDA. And yeah, I think it's printed on, seems to be printed on fairly heavy stock. I don't think there's a problem in using a watercolor on it. If you watercolor like my dad did, he just used to use a wash. That might be a problem. If you use a lot of water, it could be a problem.
Yeah, I won't be using a lot of water. So thank you very much. And I've learned so much about, I had no idea that there is a CoDA YouTube channel. So I'm so grateful I came to this meeting. Thank you, everyone.
One of the, yes, I have a request from Lisa. If I'll see if I can't show some of the pages, hold them up to the camera. Of course, mine are not colored, so you'll have to use your imagination. Give me a moment to get my copy. Kathy, would you like to say some more, or James, while I go get a copy?
I have some colored pages if you want to see them.
Right,
Oh,
that's what I
great.
said. James can do that. And I also wanted to say it's being translated in Russian, Spanish, and I believe one more language, which is pretty exciting. Okay, there's James. Can you say which step that is? Can you turn the page?
No, I can't.
Wow.
I had that in the draft, but all I did was scan these pages.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. I've got my copy. I'll go. Yes. Well done, James.
Okay.
All right. So,
You can see which one the lion's on.
Lion is on step 2.
actually, I'm not going to show. I'm going to turn my camera on and okay. Let's
It's off
see
again.
if I can do this. Great. So this is the book, right? And then let's see. I'm just going to turn to a couple of pages. Y'all see that?
Hedgehogs.
And then step 4, reflections, made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. We are at the beginning of a spiritual journey on the brink of a great adventure, the discovery of our true selves. It can seem frightening, but we also know that courage is not the absence of fear, but our willingness to walk through it. And a place for me on this page, on the other side, Albert's page, to write my thoughts. And then an affirmation, I'm healing on this wonderful journey, one day at a time. And then this is step 7. So that gives you a sense of what you can find. I'm not going to show the whole book. Get a copy and color away. Recover with color. I hope that gave you enough of a taste, Lisa. Show the step side.
Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking. Any other questions, comments, or feedback for Kathy? I know that I know that a lot of work went into making this book possible and making it available for the fellowship. So, Kathy, let me, if I haven't in the past, express my gratitude to you and the people that have worked on this project. Let me thank you now. I really appreciate the detail that was put into making this publication come out as well as it did. And I really like that you covered not just the steps and traditions, but also the promises so well. So thank you for your effort and
You're
your
welcome.
and your service in this project and other many other things besides. Any more questions, comments, or feedback? Anything anyone wants to add to today's fellowship forum? Remember, the forum is, we are not a meeting, a CoDA meeting, where the fellowship forum, we get to talk about the program, not just our experience, strength, and hope in recovery, but also our experience of the CoDA program, what it means to me. Every month we take up a different topic. We like to get guest speakers to participate. If there's a topic that would appeal to you, please let me know. Make a suggestion or send the communications committee or the fellowship form. There is an email address. I think I put that in the chat. I hope I did. Where you can reach out to us and let us know what topics might appeal to you for future events of the fellowship forum. Okay, not seeing any more hands up. Let me get the, let me put the communications committee email address in the chat. I don't see it there. If you would like to get in touch with us here, the communications committee is responsible for putting on the, once a month, the fellowship forum. The fellowship forum occurs on the last Saturday of the month at 12 noon Pacific time, 1 p.m. Mountain time, 2 p.m. Central time, and 3 p.m. Eastern time. And next month, the fellowship forum will be Saturday, February 25th. And James, you have anything you want to add while I grab the email address for the communications?
Yes, David. I was really excited when the coloring book came out, and I just wanted to color the steps. And I looked at the opposite page, and I wanted to color that, and it just kind of pulled me in. And writing my comments, I wanted to write them in there real neat. And then I started to think about watercolors and tempera and all different mediums a person could do it in. And it would be great to share at CoDA events and stuff, to bring a coloring book, and it would be a conversation starter, and you could talk about it and bond with each other with the coloring book. It's got everything in it. It's got everything. It's got personal comments, and it's all CoDA literature, and it's all listed in the back. But like I said, it was just the way it was done in the medium that pulled me right in, and that's why I wanted to have Kathy to, present it, or the committee. Like she said, if it's not just one, nothing ever gets done with one person in CoDA. Everybody has to have 2 cents, and everybody works together, and that's the beautiful part of CoDA. But I'm excited about the coloring book, and I'm excited about presenting it today. So that's what I wanted to add. That it just gets bigger and bigger, just like my life in CoDA. And I'll pass. Thank you.
Thank you for that, James. Anyone else? Last thoughts before we wrap this meeting up?
This is Kathy H. I'd like to share something about fear. If anybody has an idea and they want to make it work, and then those head voices go around and say, I could never make it happen, I can never do it. I'd say go with your gut of creating something, because that's how this all started. I had fear, I had doubts, I didn't think anybody would like it, and it happened. So it just started with a small idea that just went. And there's committees out there that'll help you get started. And if you have an idea, you could join one of these world committees. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you for that thought, Kathy. Yes. And Jewel, I see your hand up. Welcome, Jewel.
Thank you. I just want to repeat or ask you to repeat the next meeting will be Saturday, February 25 at 1 Pacific time, because I live in California.
That's noon Pacific time.
Noon. Okay,
Jewel.
fine. Thank you.
And I will repost these fellowship form links in the chat now. And they include a link to, if you, oh, that's not the one I wanted to post, but that's good to post that too. That's the link for the book. Let me get this. This includes a link to the reminder. If you want to receive a reminder about the fellowship form events, there's a link at the I just posted that will put you on the mailing list, and you'll get a reminder, a tickler, about the week of the event, and that can help. Anyone else? Last call, comments, feedback, questions? Okay. I'll share on the screen the CoDA closing. And we'll close the meeting with the CoDA closing prayer. We thank our higher power for all that we have received from this meeting. As we close, may we take with us the wisdom, love, acceptance, and hope of recovery. Thank you all for being here. Kathy, thanks for making time to come and share your knowledge of the coloring book with us today. Much appreciated. And hope to see you all in another meeting real soon, maybe back here next month for another edition of the CoDA Fellowship Forum.